Good morning, and here we are for Wednesday's English. So hopefully you have watched Mondays and Tuesdays, so you know that this week we are writing a letter to our friends or family to reassure them that we are okay at Camp Green Lake. Even though actually we're not, and Camp Green Lake is really not that great, but we are kind of pretending that things are okay so that they don't worry about us. So we looked a little bit yesterday at the fact that we're going to be using informal language because we are writing to someone that we know. So the tone's going to be very conversational. Today we're going to have a full-on spag lesson, learning all about informal language, idioms and contractions. So it is new learning that we are practicing. So you need a new page in your book with the title Wednesday the 27th of January and the title idioms. Okay, and we're going to do a little rewind on contractions and then we'll do some new learning about what an idiom is. Off we go. So first rewind then, pause the video. What makes something informal? Well, something is informal when it is using one of these three things. So contractions. So rather than saying should not, you might say shouldn't, rather than will not, won't. So these are when you are contracting the word, you are omitting, taking out a letter, and we use what piece of punctuation? An apostrophe to show where the letter is missing. Okay, so contractions is a really easy way to make something informal. We've then got slang or colloquialisms, if you want the formal term. And this is just kind of language that is kind of you would use in everyday conversation. There might be even some words that are specific to where you live. So for example, one that everyone talks about quite a lot is that in some places people call a bread roll a cob. Some people call it a butty. Some people call it a bread cake. So depending on where you live in the country, everyone calls a roll something a little bit different. Okay, it's a little bit like a jitty or an alleyway. People have got loads of different words for things, and that can be an example of a colloquialism. Slang might be saying something's wicked or something's great, or those kind of phrases that people like me who are a little bit older say, what do you mean? I don't know what that means. Okay, so things like that, that is slang, things that you would say in conversation. And the last one is idioms, which I'm going to expand on in a little bit more time. Okay. So this is still a rewind because we have worked on this before. Can you match up the formal, so the ones that are not contracted, to the informal abbreviation or contraction on the right hand side? One of them does not have a contraction, so can you write down what the missing one would be? So you've got ones on the left, ones on the right. Can you match them up? Answers them. So could not would be contracted to couldn't. The letter you are omitting is the O, so that's where the apostrophe should be. I am goes to I'm, and the apostrophe shows you're missing an A. She is goes to she's, and you've got the apostrophe to show the I is missing. Should have goes to should have, and you've got the H and the A missing. And the one that did not have a partner was can't. And the formal version of can't would be cannot. Really well done if you got those right. So when I've been writing the waggle, the what a good one looks like, I have used lots and lots of contractions. So what I want you to do is I want you to count how many contractions have I used. If it's a bit tricky to see, it is on the timetable as well, so you can have a look at it on there on the PDF, or just give it your best go. How many contractions can you spot? Pause the video and off we go. Okay, so I have highlighted all the contractions that I can see. I very well could have missed one, so please let me know if I have. So I think that there are 28 contractions. Okay, and they should be fairly easy to spot because they've all got the apostrophes. Well done if you got that. If you got more than that, check them. And if I've gone wrong and I've missed one, let me know. Okay, well done. Right, contraction part of the lesson done, ticked off. We are now moving on to our new learning, which is idioms. So another way to show informality is to use idioms. Can you guess what they are? So I've given you an example. This is an idiom, a weight off your shoulders. So you might say, oh, I'm so glad that that test is done. That's a weight off my shoulders. And it means something you no longer have to worry about, or something that's difficult that you no longer have to deal with. Any ideas? Well, an idiom is an informal phrase that doesn't have a literal meaning. Okay, so I want you to write that down into your purple book. Idioms are an informal phrase that don't have a literal meaning. Okay, so what I mean by that is, it is not that there is weights on your shoulders and that when you no longer have to worry about something, those weights have disappeared. That's not true, is it? You don't have an actual weight on your shoulder when you're worrying about something. But you feel like you do have a weight on your shoulder. You feel like there's something weighing you down, making you feel a bit nervous. When that thing's gone, it feels like that weight has gone, that pressure has gone, it's been lifted. So an idiom is not a literal thing. It doesn't literally mean you have weights on your shoulders and they go. But it's that feeling that you kind of relaxed, that pressure has gone. So an idiom is an informal phrase that doesn't have a literal meaning. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you several idioms on the screen, and I want you to try and work out what this idiom means. So for each one, you can write them down into your purple book. So I want you to have a list of all the idioms that we are going to look at and then what their meaning is as well. Okay, guess the idiom. So there's some idioms about the body, some about time, some about weather, some about food, and some about animals. But we've not got 5 for each. I've only chosen the ones that link to what we are learning about, because these are what you're going to use in your letter. Obviously, you're not going to use all of them, but you are going to have a go at using some of them. So, can you guess the idiom? Rachel's wedding wasn't cheap. The dress alone cost her... If you're not sure, there's a clue. It cost her an arm and a leg. Well done if you got that right. So write down into your book then. Here we are. An arm and a leg equals expensive. So you might use this in your letter when you are talking about the food. You might say, oh, this food would cost you an arm and a leg normally, but I get it here for free. Something like that. Next one. Alex got caught cheating in an exam. Tell me more. I'm all ears. So the idiom all ears means you are listening carefully. Okay, write that one down into your book. So you might say something like, right soon, Mum, I'm all ears to hear about Dad's experiments. Next one. This is a time one. I didn't realise it was 9 o'clock already. When you're having fun. This one's an easy one. The answer is... time flies. So write down into your book then, time flies equals time is going really fast. Well, obviously time's not actually going really fast, but time feels like it's going really fast. Okay, time is going at the same pace all the time, but it feels like it's going fast. That's one I feel like we say quite a lot. It's one we use in everyday language quite a lot. So you might say something like, time's flying by here, Mum. Everything's so much fun. Something like that. Next one. Marty really enjoyed his birthday party. In fact, we all had a... Oh no, where's it gone? Come back. We all had a whale of a time. Okay, so a whale of a time equals something you've really enjoyed. So this is an easy one to get into your letters. This is one I think everyone could get into your letter. So you can say, I'm having a whale of a time. Or I had a whale of a time jumping into the lake. So nice, easy one, that one. A whale of a time means it's really fun. Okay, pause then. Which idiom means it's expensive? An arm and a leg. Which one means that time feels like it's going really quickly? Time flies. Well done. Let's keep going then. When I saw my baby daughter for the first time, I was... They are clouds. These are all clouds. I was on cloud nine. So cloud nine means you're feeling very happy. So again, this is a nice, easy one that you can get into your letter really, really easily. So you can just say, I was on cloud nine when I saw the jet ski. Nice and easy. And next one. The whole class got 100% on the test because it was a... What's that? Because it was a piece of cake. Okay, it means it's something that's really easy. If something is a piece of cake, it's nice and easy. Okay, so obviously it doesn't actually mean it's a piece of cake, it just means it's really simple. So again, that's a nice one to be able to put into your letter. So anything that you're talking about doing, whether it's snorkeling, building a campfire, whatever it was, you can say it was really easy, it was a piece of cake. Perfect, well done. Right then, well done. So hopefully now you have a list of idioms in your book that you know what they mean. So last little task for today, I want you to have a go at writing 2 sentences using an idiom. When you've done that, I want you to put a little asterisk to your plan so that you know when you write those paragraphs, you are going to use that idiom. So here is my asterisk, and I've highlighted it so I don't forget it. So this is going to be an idiom, or it's an asterisk, it's going to take me to an idiom all about going in the lake. So then here's my orange asterisk, and this is then my sentence with an idiom for that paragraph. So I've put, going on the jet ski was so fun, semicolon, I had a whale of a time. Okay, so it doesn't mean that I had a whale. Okay, whale of a time means fun. So what I'm trying to say is I had fun. Okay, I'm going to do one more. And here's my second one. So this one is linking to the facilities, and my one's about the television. So I've put, the TV is enormous. It must have cost an arm and a leg. What does arm and a leg mean? It means it's expensive. So I'm saying it must have cost a lot of money because it's really big. I've also put a contraction in there as well to make sure that it is informal. So have a go at writing at least 2 sentences using an idiom. You can write more if you would like to. Try and use contractions as well. And if you want to throw things like a semicolon or a relative clause like you were doing last week in as well, even better. Okay. Send me some pictures. I want to see your idioms. And if you can think of any others, write them down. You use them all the time. Okay, you will use them without even thinking about it. So send me your work and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.